Give this corporation a 22-4 position.
Oh, this new contract, and I'd like to see getting rid of the 224 altogether. I want the same rights as everybody else. I'd get rid of the 6 to 8 punches and quit messing with our pay. They just dropped our pay. No notice.
It's not fair when you come to work and the Teamster next to you is making more or less money. This wage system was created only to benefit the company and not the employee. And I 100% believe this needs to be removed by the next contract.
Punch has been a tremendous burden on the guys have been forced in 6 days a week for the last 3 years. Puts a burden on their family and their health. I've seen guys mentally break down to tears because they're being forced in 6 days a week. I've seen it affect marriages. Some of them have ended up quitting who have been very
like us on Facebook at UnionPowerRadio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Union Power Radio. Listen every hour of every day. UnionPowerRadio.com.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised. Due to some violent content, parental discretion
presented in this video are from the member's best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video are our own and do not necessarily represent my employer's positions, strategies, or opinions. All views shared are protected under the National Labor Relations Act.
Nice. You are now in tune with the boss of the business, the What the Heck Show on UnionPowerRadio.com.
What happened? They thought you were heroes. They were telling everybody, we have the best employees in the world. They're providing goods and services, making sure this country keeps going. Well, it's funny how fast they forget. And all they care about is the bottom line of their balance sheet. Our wages stayed the same. In some cases, they went down, but their balance sheet kept expanding. They made $100 billion off the pandemic. $100 billion with a B. And what did we get? We got nothing. Well, that's going to change April 17th, because when we go to the table, there is going to be no niceties across the table. We're going to have rank and file members looking at this company, giving true testimonials on how bad this company treats their people.
So you realize that we're really not that far apart on the issues. We're just not that far apart on the issues.
Now, we're going into negotiations and we're telling UPS very clearly that we want a good contract for our members and we want it done on time. If they don't get it on time, we're going to pick a fight with them. August the 1st, if we don't have the contract that you guys want by August the 1st, we're not working no more.
That's right. You're listening to the What the Heck Show here on Union Power Radio. It's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are live on YouTube. We are live on the radio. We are also going to be opening up the phone lines for you guys. 347-403-0705 here on the What the Heck Show. We want anyone's opinion to come on the air. This is live. This is not like the other platforms that they record and edit. This is live. If you want to get on the radio or get on Zoom, the app is on the Union Power Radio page. You can get on there to get on the Zoom call. So we got a lot to talk about, especially with these contracts. If you guys are interested in the contract or just don't give a fuck. Some people just don't give a fuck. But I guess if you're listening and you're interested, we're going to go down what happened this week with the negotiations of the international, the national, and the supplements. And as you know, a lot of supplements had not been settled yet or signed or brung to the membership for a vote or anything, because the company is just not giving a fuck about these supplements. Sean O'Brien said to the company, you got to get the supplements done before we do any national negotiations. Now, negotiations for the national was supposed to start on April 17, which was the past Monday. And they did show up, Sean O'Brien and the crew and all the rank and files, that whoever's involved with the national and all the executive board from the IBT, they did show up to the room where the company was at, and they simply said to them, we're not going to talk anymore until your supplements are settled. And I love that about Sean O'Brien. I had my differences with Sean O'Brien back then when he was with the Hoffa Brigade, the old guard. And I always said, listen, if the members speak louder than words, and if they don't like you, they'll vote you out of office. You know, we have to give Sean O'Brien and his executive board the opportunity to do what they need to do to service the membership. They took the oath to service the membership. And just like me as a BA, I have to take the oath to service the membership. And that's what it's all about. Sean O'Brien back in the days was, you know, the officer thing. And I didn't care too much about him. And you know what? We have to give everyone a chance. Everyone deserves a second chance to prove themselves to the membership. And that's exactly what Sean O'Brien is doing right now. He's actually showing you guys and showing us that he can do the job and do it the right way versus the Hoffa way. The Hoffa way would have been crazy at these negotiations right now, because the Hoffa way probably would have just not give a fuck and just went on with the national contract and started talking to the company and started giving gift backs and blah, blah, blah. That's what's the Hoffa and the old guard way. And there's a lot of people out there right now talking a lot of shit about what Sean O'Brien is doing. And let me tell you something. I seen when Sean O'Brien took office, and I seen the difference between him and the Hoffa Reggae and the old guard. And don't get me wrong, I saw some old guards still in the mix. But that's Sean O'Brien showing them that he could change that attitude. They changed the behavior of what to do with the membership. The membership are the number one priority in Sean O'Brien's eyes, in Fred Zuckerman's eyes. And they're not playing games with this company. And this company is shocked right now because they didn't think they were going to give them, you know, the Sean O'Brien was just going to give in and bow to them and say, hey, okay, let's go with the negotiation. I love the fact that he went to the national negotiations and put his foot down and said, we're not going to start the national negotiation until all the supplements are done. And that's fucking leadership right there, guys. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we the members, the ones that vote, if you never voted, this is your time to spread the word and vote. Because now the membership, when a supplement is ready to be ratified, it goes to the membership. The membership has to approve whatever improvement they got from the company. The same thing with the national. The national, if nothing gets accomplished as far as, you know, what the demands are in the national and in that international contract, IBT, and then it goes to the membership, and the membership has to vote. Either yes, we go on strike, or no, we don't go on strike. I really don't want to go on strike. A lot of people don't want to go on strike, but you know, we have to teach this company a lesson for the past 17, 19 years, whatever the Hartford been in fucking office. He always threatened the strike and never came through with the strike. And the company ran all over them, gave them gift bags, give them this and that, the 22-4s. 22-4 language is one of the worst it's one of the top worst language in the contract. Article 40 is by far the worst. But the 22-4 is the worst. I feel I don't like the contract. I think is bullshit, and I think they should get rid of that language of the 22-4s. I don't even want them to negotiate any language to it. I just want them to get rid of it. The 22-4s deserve to get paid the same as a 0300 driver. They deserve to get the 8-hour request load. They deserve to be on the 9-5 list. And here in Local 804, they deserve to get the coffee break. And I believe in that. So because Sean O'Brien went into the negotiations on April 17th and showed up just like professionals, they all showed up to the company. The company sat right across them, and they said what they had to say. And then I believe what I heard, and I don't know if I wasn't there, but what I heard, they got up and said, we're not going to negotiate any of the national until all supplements are settled. And from that night on, we had emergency negotiations at the supplements. I mean, we were up negotiating to about, I say 11 o'clock. Some other supplement locals were up to past midnight. And this is how desperate the company is getting right now. We have the leverage to put them in that situation, in that, back to the wall. They've been putting our back to the wall for a long, long time. It's our turn. And Sean O'Brien and Fred Zuckerman means business. He doesn't say strap your chins and get ready. He means it. He means it to the company. He means, they both mean it, that they're not taking less for this fucking contract. They want the right contract. They want to benefit the membership. We ain't going to take anything less than what we asked for. And the company is playing games. It's doing a lot of layoffs. They're doing a lot of firing. And I'm going to get into that also with the discipline, because they're going crazy with discipline. And like I said, I always say that the company always has an empty gun. You the one who provides that bullet for them to shoot. So by me saying that is that you know the methods and procedures. Don't give them that opportunity to pull you in the office, to discipline you or discharge you for something that you already know what to do as far as methods and procedures and what not to do. Theft, cardinal sin, and all that other stuff. But we're going to get into that in a little bit on the show. Like I said, this is a 1-hour show. I have the phone lines open. It's 347-403-0705. You have any concerns or you want to talk about what's going on in the contract, then we can talk about that. Now, in the beginning of the show, I said, like I said, that Sean O'Brien is put his foot down, which we needed leadership like that, guys. I mean, guys are talking a lot of shit throughout these social medias and Brown Cafe and Teamster Link and all that. Guys, you guys got to, if you're still in you got to give Sean O'Brien and Fred Zuckerman a chance to prove themselves. If they don't prove themselves with this contract, which I already see they are, there's no question about it that I'm going to have their back, because it's my contract, it's your contract, it's all our contract that they're dealing with. They hardcore with the company. If you were in any other contracts before with Hoffa negotiations, you saw that the national contract was always ratified right away, because you know what? Hoffa gave the company a lot of shit. And then we had the two-third rule that when if 3 supplements wasn't settled, they wasn't happy about what the company was taking away from them or giving to them. Hoffa used the 2/3 rule and shoved it down their throat. And they had the member, didn't have no say-so over that. And we got the 2/3 rule taken out. So now the company cannot or Sean O'Brien and will not shove any supplements down anyone's throat. It's the way he said it. He wants the supplements done. They had more than enough time to complete these supplements. They started the negotiations in February. We are now in April. It should have been enough time for anyone to negotiate or have something in writing, TKOs, TOKs signed and ready to go. But this company wanted to test Sean O'Brien out, and now Sean O'Brien put their ass to the fire. And that's where they're at right now. Their asses are to the fire because now they are rushing. They are fucking trying to get, the supplements done. And before Sean O'Brien sits down, and that's fucking great. I can't say enough that how great it is to have a leadership like Sean O'Brien and Fred Zuckerman to say to them, if you want to fuck with our supplements, then you ain't going to talk to us until all the supplements are done. And I'm going to go down the list of what the demands are. And I believe it's a lot more than I have. But Kerwood from Local 25, said it right when he wrote a big statement about what they wanted. And you can catch all this stuff, all this media stuff, all this other platforms that record themselves and, edit themselves. They all could be caught in the Media Hub. If you are not registered to the Media Hub in Facebook, you should go there because everybody that has a platform, that has a podcast, that has whatever is there, you can look, listen to it, and you put your opinions up there. My show is always a live show. I used to have what's his name? I even forgot his name. Rosario and Jamie, but they doing their own thing. I think they don't have time for this, but it's okay. It's okay because I've been doing this for the longest time, and I'm okay doing it by myself. And the number here is 347-403-0705. If you want to call, you don't have to give in your name. You want to talk about a topic, or you want to say something about what's going on with the contract and the strike. Like I said before, no one wants to go on strike. I definitely don't want to go on strike. I'm a business agent in Local 804. And let me tell you something. For us, the business agents, the executive board, is going to be a lot of work if we go on strike. No sleep days, because we got to be out there almost 24 hours a day, making sure that the strike is going well and everybody's behaving, not throwing rocks and stuff like that, and making sure that whoever's on the picket line is signed in and to get paid from the strike funds. The strike funds is the way it works is 5 times your union dues. So if you are paying $100 in union dues, it's $500 for the day, for the week. It's 5 times your union dues. Now, you just don't get the $500, and you just don't get the union, the strike fund money into your bank account, direct deposit. The way it works, you have to show up at the strike line. You have to sign in. You don't have to be there 8 hours, but you do have to be there 4 hours. 4 hours on the strike line. There's going to be different shifts. It's going to be around the clock. We're going to not terrorize. Let me take that back, because I don't want anyone to terrorize, but we're going to be out there in the picket line, and we're going to show the company that we're all together as one. Now, you're going to have some scabs that are going to walk through the picket line because they don't care about union. They didn't care about union in the years they've been there, and they just want to make a paycheck, and they don't care about your benefits. They don't care about part-timers. They don't care about the strike at all. So you're going to have some members that are going to be scabs and walking through that line. My advice, please, no violence in the strikes. No violence. You can talk all you want, call them scabs, call them scum, call them whatever the fuck you want. Just don't touch no one. No, we don't need to have any arrests of someone touching someone or throwing something at them. We are Teamsters, we are tough, but we don't need to beat up anybody because they are running through the line and they scabs. They will pay the price at the end, because when everything is settled, all he's going to be known as is a scab for the rest of his remainder of his career. So, you know, that's what it is. And just to warn you guys, just to that we shouldn't think about any violence or throwing anything at them. We can tell them they scabs and they pieces of shits and scum, but you're gonna have some people walking the picket line. I don't like it. I don't even want to go on strike, but it is what it is. And the way to get paid from the strike fund is you must show up at the picket line, you must sign in, and you have to stay there at least 4 hours. And we're going to have different shifts, some in the hubs here in New York City. Local 804, we have 24-hour operation that we're going to be, I'm going to be all over the place, man. I'm trying to rest now, and that's why I haven't been on the radio a lot, because it's a lot of work to be done. It's going to be done if we go on strike. Hopefully we don't, because I think the company is giving into a lot of demands, especially here in Local 804. This week, this Friday, we had negotiations to 11 o'clock on Thursday night. And then the next day, Friday, there was supposed to be no negotiations, but the company said, okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. So they went to the hotel that Friday. Vinny Perone was down in Washington, D.C. with the National. So he came back to New York because Sean O'Brien says until all supplements are done, we ain't going back to the negotiation tables. So on Friday, Local 804 gave a lot of, proposals, and company, it looked like it was moving very, very well to our advantage, to the Local 804 advantage. Some of the proposals, I just got some of it. And what I know so far is that the proposal for a 15-minute break instead of a 10-minute break for the part-time is looking to go through to a TOK, but it haven't been signed yet. So it's looking good for the 15-minute break for the part-timers instead of 10-minute break. It's also looking good for the 2 extra sick days for the part-timers and the full-timers. That haven't been signed yet. The TOK haven't been signed yet. They thought that it was going to be signed and delivered on Friday, but the company came back with other proposals that hold on a second, let me let this guy in. The other proposals, and it didn't go the way Vinny and Scott Damone, the lead negotiator, wanted to, because they put in a couple of proposals that matches that coincide with those proposals, and because they didn't want to sign the other ones, we told them we're not going to sign these TOKs. So we're on a standstill again, and it's moving better than it was before, because I'm sure they got pressured now that they got to start negotiating these supplements, and hopefully it works out to Local 804 advantages. What we have here look like things. Yeah, things are moving. Now, I spoke about the strike thing. I also want to talk about a couple of things with the contract. The main focus of a strike thing is the 22.4 language, the PVDs, which is a big factor. And it's going to be other negotiations with the Article 40. Article 40 is the air driver's language, and it's probably is the number one worst contract in the national. It affects everybody throughout the national, that Article 40. Article 22.4 language also affects everybody in other states. Now, a lot of states are okay with the 22.4s, which is Dennis Taylor's, whatever. We're not okay with it here in Local 804. We think that 22.4 language should be gone. It's a lot of issues with the 22.3 combo helpers. It's a lot of issues that need to be straightened out. And I'm sure I'm not part of the negotiation committee for the first time. This year, like I said, Vinny picked 10 executive board members and 10 rank and file members, which is a total of 20. And the reason he did that because of the Last executive board, they had about 30 rank and file members, and they got absolutely nothing done. With 20 people, there's less talking and less confusion and less arguments, and we just want to get the work done for the membership. They are the eyes and the ears of this membership. They are not being browned out, so meaning that they are free to say what they done in the negotiations to their fellow co-workers. Some of them are shop stewards, some of them are not. But if the ones that are having parking lot meetings and informing all the members what's going on in negotiation. Vinnie Perrone instructed them actually to give the information to the members, which is great, because sometimes the members don't get the information. Now, members out there, and I did a couple of parking lot meetings in the past couple of weeks, and my parking lot meetings are for the information of the contract, what's going on, what to expect, and what's going to happen in the future. When I put parking lot meetings together and the shop stewards parking lot meeting together, it's for information. It's for your information. It's for you to be informed of what's going on in the contracts, what's going on in your local. Because you guys don't come to the general membership meeting. Some shop stewards that are shop stewards don't even come to the shop steward meeting. And, we can't be everywhere. The business agents can't be everywhere. Some of us has 2 to 3 buildings, local sort, preload, we got to concentrate on discipline, on people again. And lately I've been busy. I've been fucking busy with discipline. It is what it is. I'm here. That's my job. I'm here I can't fix a lot of things. I can't pull rabbits out of my ass all the time. And when I do pull a rabbit out of my ass, it's just because, the company fucked up and I get them. But it's your responsibility. I mean, driver's license is your responsibility. Your DOT is your responsibility. When you come to me and you say, why I'm in the office, I didn't put you in the office. And the company wasn't going to put you in the office, but you gave them the opportunity to put you in the office. So the guy you got to look at is yourself, which is the mirror. That's the guy you got to look at. That's the guy for the discipline. A lot of guys are anti-union guys. I deal with a lot of anti-union here in Local 804 that don't give a fuck about union. But I tell you this much, and I'm going to tell you right now, don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. If you're going to be all year round saying, fuck the union, now you're in a predicament that you can't get out of. Now you can't get out of. Now you become the bitch to me, because that's what's happening. That is what's happening. You start crying that you're losing your fucking job and you want the union now to fucking back here, but you haven't gone to any general membership meeting. You haven't gone to any parking lot meetings. You just don't give a fuck. But now you do give a fuck, because now your job is on the line because you fucked up. That guy in the mirror fucked up. And I don't have a shame in my game to tell you, you bitched out on me. Now you want to be a union guy. Union, the way I am with the union is because what I experienced in the past with me. That's why I'm a union guy. I go by the union book. I believe in the Bible. That's my Bible. That's our Bible. I believe in it, because a lot of that stuff in that you might think is blah, blah, blah. It's a big book. I don't have time to read it. Dude, make time to read it. You're going to be so fucking surprised what you can do and cannot do. And also, what is your rights? That's the most important part. What is your rights? Just like you have the rights outside of the company when you drive your vehicle, you have the right to remain silent. Here in your union, you have the right to remain silent until you have a shop steward present. Simple as that. You have that right. It's almost the same rights. You're not going to jail. You're not getting, you're not getting executed, but you're going to get terminated. And your rights is to know what's in that union book. Your rights is to understand what's going on in the local, what's going on in your building. That is your rights. You give up those rights by not giving a fuck, you know?
And that's the biggest problem, Hector.
What's up, Jamie? Oh, Jamie's here. So everybody say
And
hi.
that's the biggest problem, Hector, is that these guys, ladies and gentlemen, are not trying to read their contract to learn their rights. And then when they get themselves in trouble, they look to you for everything. And you keep explaining to them, please read the book. Take some time to read the book. And they just don't want to. And it's, no, you're the shop steward. You should know it. You should know it. You should know it. No, you should know it too. Because what if someone is representing you and they don't know it? How do you know they know it? You know, you should also know it. I actually help the shop steward, if anything, but no one wants to read it.
Exactly.
And
that's what's the killer part about this whole thing. You know, no one wants to know what's going on. And the best information to get what's going on is parking lot meetings, general membership meetings, or if you don't, you know, just go online, go to Teamster Local804.org, the website that tells you everything, that gives you all the information that you possibly can use to understand what's going on in your local, in your building, in the international. I just hate when I do parking lot meetings and on my chat, because I have WhatsApp chat for all the buildings, for all the buildings that I represent. And I tell them, please do not come to me after the meeting because you didn't make it to ask me what happened at the meeting. If you're not responsible enough to come to the meeting, you want me to redo the meeting for yourself, like you have special privileges, like it's a one-on-one thing. That is not going to fucking happen with me. I'm sorry. I'm straight up. I would tell you straight up, you should have been there to hear what the fuck was going on. Now, if you feel you want to go to another coworker and listen to what he said about the meeting, I guarantee you he's going to tell you different what I said in that meeting, and you're going to get the wrong information, and then you're going to be fucked. So my advice to everyone, not only my buildings, but everybody out there in any local or any state, to listen to what they do parking lot meetings, not to have coffee, not to have donut, not to ask you, how was your day or how was your night? Did you get laid or did you not get laid? The parking lot meetings are done by shop stewards and business agents only because they want you to get information out to you, to let you know what's going on. That's as simple as that.
The weirdest thing about those things, Hector, is that you will have members that come to work early every day, except for the day that there's a parking lot meeting. They try to avoid it by coming to work 10 or 15 minutes before the start time. Come on, that's sad.
It's not only sad, wait till if we do, knock on wood that we don't, but if we do go on strike and they don't have any information that they got to report to the strike line, and they don't report at all, and they say, well, where's my money? Because you didn't have the information. You were supposed to come in and be in that information. I just got joined in by Jose from 952 local out there in California. This guy has a lot to say. Let's see what he's going to say. What's up, Jose?
Hey, Hector, how you doing, my man? We're out here in LA, went to Lancaster because we're up to some big things. I can't say, but we're up to some big things out here. I'm here with my homeboy, Will Pena from 396, and the homeboy, Brandon Sprinkle from my local 952. You know, we're going to go to another picking line in medieval times in Buena Park, my neck of the woods. So, you know, we're just keeping this shit rolling. How are you guys doing out there?
We're doing just the same way you're doing up there. How's it going with the negotiations up in the supplements up there?
My understanding is, as of last night, sometime after 8 p.m. Western or Pacific, 11 Eastern Standard Time, there's an agreement. There's a tentative agreement on the Western region supplement. tomorrow they have panels. I think it's for terminations only, I believe. And Tuesday and Wednesday, they go back to negotiations for the Southwest package and sort rider. So I mean, I was shocked when I heard that there was a tentative agreement in place for the Western region, because that one was lagging a little bit behind the Southwest, because the Southwest had like 24 tentative agreements on proposals. So I mean, we'll see if this Southwest package and sort rider gets finalized in these next, well, in a couple of days from now.
So what it looks like for you for that?
No details. Like, we're getting updates, which I appreciate, but there's no details. I don't know what's being agreed upon. I just don't know, and we won't know until we go to the contract meetings when they hold it, and then we'll finally see the product. As of right now, I don't know what has been agreed upon. I just know the work week and work day has been agreed upon, but specifically what does that entail, I do not know. I just hope that, I wish it was a little bit more transparent when it comes to the updates, and have a little bit more meat on that bone rather than just giving us the bone with nothing on it, no details.
It's so funny that the way they just cut all the supplements off. It was like the last day of negotiation, especially here in Local 804, that it was like a week ago that they was like, we're done, we didn't get nothing accomplished, nothing was signed, nothing was done. And all of a sudden, Sean O'Brien goes in there and says, you guys want to play games with our supplements, then we're not going to deal with any of the national. And all of a sudden that night, everybody scrambled and got on Zoom calls, and we were up to the late hours of 11 o'clock. Some locals were up to 3 o'clock in the morning negotiating. And this is how this company responds when they're under pressure. And I applaud Sean O'Brien for putting that pressure on that company. But like in Local 804, things wasn't moving at all. And now things look like they moving to the benefit the local. A lot of proposals that we putting in, now they are rethinking of just giving it to us. But, they'd never give us anything without taking anything. So, I mean, that's part of the negotiations. You give, you take. But, here in Local 804, Vinny Perone and Scott Damone, we're not going flip for flop. We're giving them the proposals, and they're coming back with different stuff and different ways of how to fuck the members, and we're not accepting that. Right now, like I said before, the only thing that I see that it might be signed off will be the 15-minute break for the part-timers. They have now a 10-minute break and 2 extra sick days for the part-timers and the full-timers. That's so I see. And Martin Luther King's birthday and Juneteenth, I think they're gonna spread that across the whole nation, that they're gonna give us that holiday. But here in Local 804, they want the members to take the day that they must work the day before the holiday and the day after the holiday for order for them to give us that holiday. But that's what it is. And hopefully, I don't know, do you know anything about any bodies being ready to re-ratify any supplements?
Out here in the West, not yet. I mean, they just reached a tentative agreement last night on the Western region. When we will see it, I don't know. I think they're just still working on the Southwest. And then they'll start, setting the dates for us to see it. And then, when we're going to ratify it, if we ratify it or not. So, I mean, right now it's just wait and see approach.
Right. All right. So I know you put out something. I was going to talk about it today because it's the first time I'm hearing it. I mean, I'm glad that this is happening and Sean O'Brien is taking office, everybody by surprise. There's a local 731 that's under emergency trustee. You're the one who put it up. Do you know anything about that? Or you don't want to talk about it?
All I know is what was given out. They were, you know, just wasting the members' money on things that they shouldn't be wasting. I think alcohol was one of them. Expensive dinners, and just things that gives the union a bad name. That you have principal officers and e-board members think that they could live off go to these fancy restaurants off the backs of the members. That's all I know. I don't know anything else, but I was surprised when that news broke out, but
Yeah, I was
mean,
surprised also because, in the Hoffa regime, they never trusted any local because they were doing whatever the fuck they want to. And now that Sean O'Brien is in office and he's looking at these locals, and you guys, every local should be watching out. Just the membership money, a penny missing is a penny that you're going to get trustee with. Sean O'Brien is looking through all these locals throughout the whole United States, and whoever's fucking playing with the membership money and not spending it the right way and using it for their own personal use, you're going to be caught. And Sean O'Brien is going to go after that. If anybody don't know what a trustee, emergencies trustee is that Sean O'Brien sends some executive board members or whoever he picks to go keep an eye. It goes into that local, and that particular local they get all the books read out, anything that's missing, a penny is missing from those books, a penny from a membership or whatever the case may be. He has the right to trustee that local. Right now it's under emergency trustee, so it's not really trustee yet. It's not on the trusteeship. And once they come up with all the numbers and everything falls into place, that it would maybe a misunderstanding, and then Sean O'Brien takes his guys out of there. But if it comes down to that executive board that's in that local now is messing around and not doing the right thing by the membership and the money, he has the right to take over that local, Sean O'Brien, and put some people in there temporary into his election. Then it could be a trusteeship for many years. It could be 2 years, 3 years that local could be trustee until all the books are in order. And that's a good thing, because sometimes, long ago with the Hoffa regime, they didn't really give a fuck if you spend money on liquor, on whatever, Uber, in a case like that. So I'm glad that's happening also. And that's why I said in the beginning of the show that a lot of people are quick to disagree with Sean O'Brien and Fred Zuckerman. You have to give everyone a shot. We are the members. We are over 350,000 UPS members, and we have what was the correct, Jose? You said 1.2, right?
It was 1.2, but I think we added 260 new Teamsters. So I think it went up to 1.3. But I mean, if I'm incorrect, somebody could correct me on that shit. But
yeah,
I believe
the last thing I heard was 1.4, but it's okay. Whatever, 1.3, 1.4, 1.2. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of freaking Teamster members, and we have the right to vote who in what in office. If you got to give everyone a shot. Everyone deserves a second chance. Sean O'Brien has proven to me a big critic of him when he was with Hoffa in the old guard. And now he's proven to me, and that's what I said to him when he won the election. I said, just do what you got to do, Sean. Just show me differently that you can do everything that you say you're gonna do with the Teamsters and the IBT. And I tell you this much, he's been proving a lot of stuff and beyond stuff. I sent him a message the other day saying, how great of a job he's doing. And this shit blew my mind that he went to the national and told them, I'm not negotiating his shit into your supplements. And that's
I love it. I loved it.
That is balls, and which Hoffa didn't have. Hoffa didn't have balls, and I don't give a fuck. Any old guard, and you know what? I seen some old guards in the national panel. Same old, but if Sean O'Brien sees right through them, and I can tell you this, according to somebody just froze to me, according to the UPS Teamsters application, half of the 40 supplements have reached the TA, and they intend to have the rest completed by this week. So they saying that 40 supplements already completed in the UPS Teamsters app. And that's another thing, anybody that's out there that don't have the UPS Teamster app, I think that right now is the time to get it, because they give you a lot of information. If you're one of those lazy guys that don't want to get up in the morning 10 minutes before your start time to come into work and do it and be in the parking lot meeting to find the information, the UPS app, the UPS Teamster app is the way to go right now with negotiation if you want to keep yourself updated of what's going on in negotiations. I just want to give, what's up?
On the Teamster call, he had a shop steward call this morning. I don't know if you
No,
was
I
on
wasn't
there or
on
not.
it. But go
He
ahead.
said it was about like 30 supplements left, and half of them actually finished. So it's only about 14 or 15, he said, was left. Out of the 14 or 15, it was only like 7 or 8 things they had to, get past, and that was about it. But he said it should be done hopefully within the next week. So,
Well, here in Local 804, we're going to be back into negotiations on Monday, tomorrow, and hopefully we could get something done. I mean, I thought it was moving pretty good on Thursday night when we was up to 11 o'clock at night, negotiating on Zoom, which Scott Damone was like, why do I got to do it on Zoom? I'd like to do it face to face. And it's true. We would like to do this shit face to face, but because of the emergency and the fact that Sean O'Brien told them, I ain't doing shit with the national until you do the supplement, everybody went scrambling, got on Zoom calls from all the other locals that didn't do anything with their supplements yet, especially Local 804. And everybody was on Zoom for hours and hours. There was a point that we were like we went to a break room from, I could tell you, from like 4 o'clock in the afternoon all the way to about 8, 9 o'clock at night. That's
so
a
I have a
long
question for you, Hector.
What's up?
Here in our local, I heard you mention something about 2 sick days. So would that take us up to, would that take us up to 8 sick days?
Yes.
Or would that bring us to 9? And the reason why I'm asking is because of stuff that happens in New York in general. So are we actually getting 2, or are we actually going to get 1 is the question.
That's the question that they're going to be asking tomorrow at the negotiations. I'm going to make it my business to go to negotiations tomorrow. I have a little bit of time.
I'm assuming you understand that question. That's good.
I do understand that question, and it's a good question. And that's the question that was brought up to Scott Damone also. Scott Damone knows about that question that's going to be asked about those 2 sick days. So I'll be there tomorrow to find out even more about what I know that went through to the company, and the company came back with something different. And we were like, well, they were like, no, it's got to be a complete package, including that, or we're not taking just partial of the proposal. So tomorrow, I guess they will explain more about that 2-day, and hopefully I can have more information for you and for the members of what that 2-day means. I mean, I think it's great that they're moving on stuff. That's right. The great thing about it. They're moving on stuff. They're moving on Martin Luther King's birthday. They're moving on Juneteenth for a holiday.
But I don't see why we shouldn't get most of the stuff that we want. We should be given that, because come on, we made them a lot of money.
Let me tell you, at the beginning of the negotiations, when we put up the Martin Luther King's Day and the Juneteenth, the company replied to us, what's in it for them if they give us this holiday, and they did propose, we'll give you this, but they got to work the day before and the day after. And we want Black Friday, and we want the election day back. We didn't go in there, bargaining with that. It's not a gift back. We're not giving any gift backs. We have Black Friday, which is an opportunity for you to take over and have a nice 4-day weekend, which I always did. Or you could come in on that day and get triple time. You get double time plus the regular time. You know, you get your holiday, you get the overtime. It's called double time and your regular time. And we call it triple time here. It's a good paid day. It looks good, but the tax robs you blind. Uncle Sam takes most of that work because I did it for the first year one time. And $1,000 check wind up having a $200 check. So I don't know if it's worth better to spend time with my family for the 4 days on Thanksgiving weekend. Like I said, I think it's going better now. We're going to find out tomorrow what's the process tomorrow and see how fast it's going. And then I'll keep everyone up to date when I do another radio show. Like I said, I'm busy doing a lot of discipline now. This company is now taking a lot of discipline into effect. I mean, they're doing a lot of stuff here, stuff that I never dealt with before. A lot of warning letters, a lot of suspension, and a lot of terminations. I've been through so many terminations in the past week, and it's driving me up the wall because the fact is that, you know, you're anti-union guy. You don't give a fuck about the union, and now all of a sudden you're in the hot seat, and now you want the union, which I do anyway. You know, I don't care if you I'm here to do a job. I'll represent you 100%. But you put yourself in that situation. We put ourselves in that situation every time you be in that office. I never wanted to be in the office when I was a driver, but they always put me in the office because I had a big target on my back. They didn't like the fact that I was going to TDU conventions and coming back smarter. They didn't like the fact that I was reading the union book. They didn't like anyone to know about the union book. This is how you get treated from this company. They don't want you to learn the union book, your rights as a member. So when they know that you're pulling out all these articles and say, hey, I'm allowed, you know, I have the rights to do this. I have the right to that. They don't know the union book themselves. And they see that you're trying to learn the union book and they go after you. And you got to have good, you know, a good business agent to put that to a halt. The problem with these disciplines that, you know, you allow even your business agent, and I warn a couple of these guys of things that I saw with my own eyes, and I told them, listen, cut it out. Cut it out. You're going to get caught. They ignore the fact of me giving them a heads up. And
know both of us.
Exactly. So I tell the shop steward to look out to make sure that he gets in. If he don't want to listen to me, listen to the shop steward and tell him to cut off because, you know, once I see, and I am a person that if I see body language on management, I know something's going on, especially when LP they're not really, you know, incognito or, you know, they are looking at certain areas and those certain areas is by your truck. So I always say, if you're doing something, they're looking in that area, stop what you're doing and cut it out because they're going to catch you with it. But it's like talking to the wall sometimes. And then when they do get caught, the union has got to go full blast and save your job because you were dishonest and you did a cardinal sin. And in the book, cardinal sin and dishonest will be immediate termination. So with that said, every time I tell all my shop stewards when they go into office, before they go into the office with management, I need you to speak to the membership and tell them before they get into that office we can win with the truth. We cannot win with a lie. I can fight the truth, but I can't fight a lie. With that said, I did that. It was a low level hearing. I happened to be in the building that night. They were pulling a guy in for a cardinal sin. And I said, before you go inside, let me just give you the rundown. It's not at my level yet, but when it does come to my level, I need you to be in this level, truthful with everything. They still going to discipline you for the truth, but at least I can fight the truth when it comes to my level. And as soon as I said that, the guy goes into the office with the shop steward, and the first thing out of his mouth was a lie. They asked him a simple question. Did you work the whole 8 hours? He said yes. They asked him on a different day, did you work the whole 8 hours? The answer was yes. All right, let's try the third day. Did you work the whole 8 hours the third day? Now, when the company asks you the same question 3 times, that means EA, they got you on video. They got you on video, and they just want you to continue to lie so they can have enough, because maybe they don't have enough, but they can get you on line joint investigation. And line joint investigation, that's what they love to do. They love to catch you on a lie. That's why I tell you guys, you must tell the truth before you go into that. You got to be truth, because we can fight the truth. We cannot fight the lie. So when the third question was, did you work the whole 8 hours? The guy said yes. And they said, well, we're going to show you film and you tell us if you're telling us the truth or not. They pulled out the video. They show him leaving at a certain time and never returning to the building. So now and then the thing is that after it got to my level, I found out a lot of stuff. I found out that the supervisor was punching him out illegally. The member never punched out, never punched in. I found out that his start time was at a certain time. The supervisor was punching him an hour before. So now I have it towards the company. Now my case is great. My case is great as far as him leaving. My case is great. But my case is a shit case because he lied during investigation. I could have got him back if he told the truth. And I could have got him back because I found out all the other stuff the manager was doing, which was not only theft of time, he was stealing from his own company by allowing punching this guy in an hour before his shift. So you see what I mean? The truth. If he were to tell the truth, Jamie and Jose, I would have won this case because he lied. My case sucks ass right now. And I hate that. The most thing that I like is to catch the company at their worst. And I had them at their worst. I want that manager fired. But line joint investigation is not good. And this is what I'm telling you guys to learn when you're in the office and preach it. Listen, sometimes you got to man up and sometimes you got to take the L. Man up. You know you did something wrong. Don't try to change the story it's going to try to benefit you. Listen, I've been into cases that the guy says, I had to lie because I was afraid to lose my job. Guess what? You lost your job because you lied and you was trying to hide a lie. So either or, if you tell the truth, at least we could fight the truth. You admitted to what you done, and then we could go there. We can work with the company, hey, your first offense or whatever the case may be. But if you're trying to lie in that office because you don't want to get fired, what the fuck? What psychological bullshit is that? I never heard of such a thing. You try to lie so you won't get fired. But guess what? When they catch you in a lie, you get fired anyway. So the whole point of the matter is when you go into the office, you did it. You didn't do the methods and procedures the right way. Man up. Take an L. Take an L. That's all you got to do is man up and be truthful to what's going on and what you have done. If you didn't follow the methods and procedures, hey, there's discipline for that. The company always want the worst for you. And the worst thing for them is for you that they want you to do is lie during investigation. If they could prove that you lied during investigation, you're going to be done. You're going to be on the streets that day for lying during investigation, and especially when they prove that you're lying during investigation. And let me tell you something, arbitration, if they show the proof that you lied during investigation in arbitrate, the arbitrator is going to rule for the company and is going to discharge you indefinitely from the company. So anything you guys want to say, Jamie, before we head off to the sunset?
No, nothing really. Just go out there, do your job, do it the right way. Don't try to cut no corners. Don't, cameras are everywhere. Know what you're doing. Don't be talking for all the 15, 20 minutes to the customers. Get in, get out. Do exactly what you were told to do, and that's it.
Yeah, this company used to be good on customer service, but you know, now with all these telematics and all these, they want you guys to run through routes and this and that. It's no more customer service anymore. It's just do your job and do it the right way and keep it moving. And that's what it should be. Listen,
but,
they give you the
if they do an OJS on you or whatever, and they told you to do it this way, when they leave, do it the same way. Don't go back to your old ways. It's not going to work.
Exactly.
You know, they want you to get there, knock, drop, whatever. It is what it is, man.
Listen, this company, all they want you to do, because they don't really have a lot. I've been to a lot of cases, and a lot of cases have a lot of cracks. And I feel I look at those cracks and I look at the company, and the only thing they have to discharge you is you lying during investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could have not scanned boxes, you could have fucking threw boxes on. If they don't have anything else, if they can't even prove anything of that, which they sometimes cannot, they're going to get you for lying, because they're going to ask you the question, did you throw that box on the belt? You're going to say no. They're going to ask you in a different way. So how did that box get on there? Did you have that box? They're going to ask you in all kinds of different ways so they could get you to come out with that lie, and then they could get you on Article 12, which is lying during investigation, dishonesty, and that's discharge, the right to discharge you. So anyway, with that said, thank you for listening to the What the Heck Show here on Union Power Radio. Thanks, Jose from the West Coast, and Jamie for hopping in an hour later, like always. No, he was 15 minutes later. He was 15 minutes late. Anyway, but I wanted to answer a quick question to some guy on YouTube, Ken. He says, what's Article 40 and why does it sucks? So Article 40 is an air language, and it sucks for the regular driver, because in the language of Article 40, and it sucks a lot of ways, and I really can't get into it because the show came to an end. But anyway, it sucks because air drivers are supposed to do air work. They're not supposed to do ground work. And what's happening is, in our language, it states, or any other language, it's a national, it says that any AM work, any AM airs, it has to be done by seniority over to the regular drivers. So what the company is doing with that language is using air drivers to bump the regular drivers. Now, on the language, it says you have to use the regular drivers. You got to exhaust the regular drivers. And if you cannot use the regular drivers, then you can go into the air drivers. But what they're doing is using the air drivers to take away the overtime from the regular drivers. But we'll get into the Article 40 more. And I'm sorry I couldn't answer all of it, but it's a lot more to Article 40. That's why it sucks. And it's the #1 language that sucks in the national. #2 is the 22/4. But anyway, thank you for listening to the What the Heck Show, and thank you for your questions. You can always reach us at the What the Heck Show at AOL.com for any questions or any comments. YouTube, I'll be putting this on podcast. I forgot the last show, but I'll put it a podcast back to back. Thanks for coming on, Jamie, and wasting your time here. And Jose, thank you for the West Coast, and enjoy that sun because you got sun out there still.
Yeah. If I could say one last thing,
Go ahead, Jose.
if there isn't the most perfect time to start engaging your brother and sister, your fellow driver next to you, your preloader, seeing the twilights, it's time for all of us to start engage one another, so we could get a good contract, a contract that is equitable, livable, and dignified for all of us, regardless of whether you're RPCD, regardless if you're a feeder, regardless if you're a part-timer, regardless if you're a 22-3. It's time that we need a great contract for us. So we've given this company billions upon billions of profit off of our backs. It's time to start engaging one another. So when we go into those meetings, we're educating ourselves. And you guys have a great weekend.
You too, Jose. Thanks for
Can I say one more thing, Hector?
Of course, go ahead.
We are not that far apart. We're really not.
So you
We're
realize that we're really not that
apart.
far apart on the issues. We're just not that far apart on the issues. So you realize that we're really not that far apart on the issues.
We're not that far
Just
apart.
that
We're not that far
on the
apart.
issues.
But anyway, thank you for listening to the What the Heck Show here on Union Power Radio. Like I said, I could be with one listener or 1,000 listeners. I'm still going to be here, and hopefully Jamie gets on time, and we're going to educate the membership of what you should and should not do and what's going on in the contract out there. You always could get on the Zoom meeting with, I put it on Union Power Radio page. You could just click on and get on and express your opinions. If you don't like that, you can always call in at 347-403-0705. You don't have to give your name. You just got to give whatever the situation is. I tell you guys a lot of discipline situations, but I don't name no names. I just tell you what to look out for and what to do and how not to do it. I've been through a lot of situations, and I hate to see people lose their job. I don't like it. It don't make me feel good. I'm 100%, whatever it is, if you're an anti-union guy or not, my job is to make sure no one violates your rights. With that said, thank